away, yeah, too.
Win Daily, we are back. President's Cup Day 4, and what a thrilling day Day 3 proved to be. Trevor Immelman must just be absolutely thrilled, buzzing this morning, waking up, and he's not 6 points down or 7 points down. He's 4 points behind. They're live in contention, and I said to you at the beginning, Byron, Model Maniac, guest once again, sporting the great here this morning. I said to you at the beginning, if these internationals could be within 3 to 4 shots by the beginning of at the end of the tournament going in singles, they were at least a live chance, and this was sort of their only narrow path to victory.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they can do it, but they definitely got a shot, right? So it makes today's golf a lot more enjoyable because it's actually meaningful. It means that everyone's going to be your bets. You can feel like you can actually place them and believe that the guys are going to play their best. It makes me feel really good about the bet I placed a while ago to have USA beat the internationals today, which I missed out on the nice number for the full whole event. So I just went for the singles, which I got a really nice number on. So hoping that works out today, and then we'll see, man. Some fun pairings today.
Okay, perfect. Well, look, we've got to keep a tidy time on this one here, so yes. We're going to do a quick run through of all these bets. I understand that straight after this, we've got an NFL show coming straight up here on Win Daily, so we want to make sure that we're off air by the time that we get into that as well. So we're going to do nice and quick today into the picks and run through everything. So no, look, I agree. Super exciting that we've got a team in contention that's all the internationals could really hope for, given the difference in the two strengths of the sides. So super excited that at least they made a small comeback, nothing too monumental, but enough to say that they're a live chance, right? Like they'll need a lot of things to go their way, but they're in contention. So look, if I'm thinking back to that third day, in terms of the bets I placed, overall went really well. I picked 3 of the 4 matches. Unfortunately, the one match that I didn't pick was Burns and Billy Ho, which absolutely just Cam Davis destroyed my soul by going eagle birdie to finish. That looked like it was going to come in as well. If it had, I would have hit all 4 bets. I would have hit correct score for the day, would have hit all my parlays, everything. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Burns Billy Ho was my best bet of the day as well. So picked some big winners. Picked Siwoo Kim, Tom Kim over Cantlay Schauffele, which I didn't see anyone else in the industry tipping up. But for me, there was just an edge at that number for me. So some big results anyway, and a good result overall for both the foursomes and 4 balls. I was 6 of 8 yesterday for our tips as well.
Nice. That's awesome stuff, dude. I know. Yeah. I had pretty much the same bets as you, except I had Cantley and Xander as my. I just did a parlay because I was on the road, and that was looking good. And then Tom Kim just combusted into a million pieces of brilliance and did his thing. So looking forward to the Max Homer pairing of Tom Kim today. That'll be fun.
That's my favorite match. I can't wait to see that as well. Yeah. Yep. Unbelievable yesterday. In terms of weather, I'll just give a brief overview. I've had a look through it. There's a little bit of wind in the afternoon and maybe some late rain around 5 o'clock that might move in, but nothing untoward, nothing that we've seen sort of the last 2 days. Will get breezier as the day goes on, so that's worth bearing in mind if playing any like hole prop bets. That as it gets further into the day, it might be a little bit more volatile, might get some gusts of wind coming through, but it's all peaking at about 25 mile per hour gust, which it's nothing to sneeze at, but it's not the sort of like 40 mile per hour winds that we've been seeing the last couple of days. So Byron, Model Maniac, as always, we've got a wonderful spreadsheet that you have produced, ready to rock and roll with the matchups that we've got today, and we're just going to kind of move through these quick smart and move through each of these matchups and give an analysis of where we're leaning and what our thinking is. So we'll start right there. Match 1, Siwoo Kim, Justin Thomas. Who you got?
Yeah, and just right off the top, this is what the model suggests, and obviously I think with anything like this, you have to bear in mind what you've seen with your eyes. And we'll get to a few matchups that I'm not going to place a bet on the model that is suggesting. It kicks out a good edge. If you don't like it, don't bet it. So that's kind of just how I view my model, and it's worked out quite nicely for me. So I am in on Justin Thomas. I think he beats Siwoo Kim in around more than 66% of the time. It's a steep number. These are all odds that are a push will be you'll get your money back. So if you're looking for some bet, I think there's like minus 160s or something out there on JT to win this thing outright without a tie. I'd like that too. I just think he's a far superior player than Siwoo from a ball striking standpoint. If they both have a bad day with the putter, JT wins this thing easily.
Interesting. Look, I'm siding with JT on this one as well. One thing I did notice diving into the stats, I was sort of going through and matching up who'd made birdies and who'd contributed where, and particularly in the foursomes, right? In the four balls where they're playing their own ball, just to get a bit of a measure of where these guys were scoring. It was really interesting diving into Justin Thomas's numbers, because kind of got skewed a bit when I looked a bit deeper into the holes where he hadn't actually contributed. Quite often he'd had like a 5-foot putt for birdie or like a 7-foot putt for birdie, where feasibly he was making some of those putts. Siwoo's made 3 birdies or contributed 3 birdies so far in the full 18 holes that he played yesterday in the 4 balls. So I'm quite happy to side with the class here, and so I took Justin Thomas and was very happy to do so. So I backed him there at $1.62. Next match, Jordan Spieth coming up and rolling up against my nemesis of yesterday, the heartbreaker Cam Davis. What's your take here?
I don't have a take on this match. I think that Cam Davis is actually someone I would go, if I were to pick someone, I'd probably go with Cam Davis. Spieth has just been putting out of his ass right now, and it could easily change in one round of golf, and he's been rolling in so many putts. Without JT there, who knows how Spieth's vibes are. I think Cam Davis is a much better ball striker than Spieth right now. Again, like if you just eliminate the putting aspect of these matchups, that's kind of what I'm going towards, because I think anyone can have a good putting day, particularly Spieth. But Cam is, I think, a superior ball striker than Spieth right now. And Spieth's had some really bad holes, dude. So, if you're looking for some consistency, I like Cam. He could win a lot of holes with par today.
You can win a lot of holes with par. That's true. Definitely can. It's important to remember in singles, right? You're just it's just you against the other man. So I mean, if you have a par and he has a double bogey, there's still a victory for you. So, so you can expect some swings and some volatility. I went the other way here. I like the way that Spieth's playing. I think if anything, Spieth's struggle this year has been the short game. It has been the putter, being just ice cold. And I feel that he's starting to find that again. I feel that he's starting to make some putts. The chipping's been a lead as well. We've seen some multiple chip-ins too, which he's never really lost that, but it's good to see that that's continuing on, and he's making some chips, making some putts. As I said when I went through, matching up these sort of plays with Thomas and Spieth, Thomas had a lot of sneaky looks for birdie, but the reason why he wasn't putting them is because Spieth had made them, right? So Spieth had got him close and made birdies there. So I took him at $1.67. It's not my favorite bet, I'll tell you that. But if I am going to lean that way, I'm going with Spieth. Cool. All right, match 3, Burns Matsuyama. For me, I'm quite happy actually to ride the hot hand of Burns' putter at the moment, the way that has been just absolutely flowing. This is one where, the internationals will probably feel that they've got a live chance in Matsuyama, and I don't blame them. I do feel that particularly the first couple of sessions, Matsuyama was sort of stymied by Adam Scott spraying the ball all over the place, and that reduced some of his iron play. But Sam Burns has just been nailing, 40, 50-foot putts all over the show. So we know that he can be an elite ball striker, absolutely. But, combining that with the short game in a match play format is somewhere I want to lean. And I saw lots of nods from yourself. So I take it you're leaning that way as well.
Yeah. I made some bets late last night, which I probably shouldn't have, but I put 2 units on Sam Burns. I think this is my smash play of the day. I think he's just peaking right now, man. This guy's playing incredible golf. I think he had 7 or 8 birdies. I think he would have made the 8th birdie of the day yesterday in that 4-ball if Cam or if it was necessary, right? And on the final hole there. So this guy's just playing incredible golf. The driver looks like it's back, which is a big thing for him. When his driver goes, he goes. So I love seeing the driver coming in. And Hideki just to me is just far too inconsistent. I think he's going to be, looking at a lot of long par putts today.
Absolutely, yep. And look, he has been a bit all over the place. And as you said, we sort of saw a couple of things in his game which suggested that maybe there is like either a twinge or he's still holding back a little bit. So I'm happy to take a somewhat of a risk and actually just see it as we've got a big number here on Sam Burns, $1.83 for me is what I'm getting. So I'm very happy to take those bigger odds. All right, next match, we have got Iceman, Paddy Ice, Patrick Cantlay, going up against Adam Scott, who, we saw Adam Scott come back a little bit in that second session. I mean, I feel you just still have to absolutely smash the Cantlay play here. And this is just, it's almost automatic for me.
Yeah. I think so. Looking at what Adam did yesterday, he was feeling himself quite nicely. I think he was in the zone. I don't know if he gets back there today again. We know Cantlay's going to show up. He's got one of the highest floors out of all of these players, and I think that is what you're looking for today from a singles aspect. Someone with immense consistency and that has high upside at the same time. And minus 155 seems like a very fair play for Cantlay.
Yeah, so I'm getting $1.83 if we were using decimal odds there. So I love that number. I really do. I think that's just extremely generous for I mean, even if we're just looking at world rankings, between Cantlay and Scott, like the Scott's one of the best international players. He can win on his day, but the class of these two is Cantlay. So very happy to take the number there.
Yeah.
Right, match 5, and I think that we're going to have quite a discussion on this one, Munoz and Scheffler, because I like Munoz. I like Seb in this spot. I've been, as I said, going through all these past games. Im and Munoz last 34 holes, 18 under combined, and Munoz has had a big part to play in that. Scheffler's not in great form. He's not in great form. Coach who's in the Win Daily community was posting a tweet about Scheffler being out there late on the range with Stricker and getting some putting work done. For me, I'm like, that either goes one or two ways. He either finds something magical and his putting suddenly heals itself, or it just tells us and points us to the fact that actually he's really struggling with something and something's not right and he knows it. Yeah. Confidence is everything going into these matches. And for me, if I'm getting Munoz as like a dog and like a big dog, like I'm getting him at plus 150 and a tie as a void bet. So, I'm really happy to hit that number. That's one of my favorite spots of the day in terms of some leverage.
I agree. Nothing more to add there. The model likes Scotty, but we know what the current situation of his game is. So
100%. Yep, happy to play that every day.
Yeah.
In terms of DFS, I think that's a really nice spot where you can get different. Actually, if you're plugging Sebastian Munoz in over Scotty Scheffler, obviously you're not going to want to play a lineup where you've got both of them. So putting Munoz in, leaving Scheffler out, I think that you'll get different to a lot of those lineups who are just reading the fact that Scotty Scheffler is the number one in the world and they're not really aware with the state of his game over this last week.
I agree.
20 female Taylor Pendrith. Again, for me, this is one of my favorite bets. I loved female in this spot. He's been in excellent form, great ball striking. As I mentioned to you in our broadcast yesterday, he's just been hitting the ball lights out, and he's making putts too, which for female is always a good thing. Taylor Pendrith, he can absolutely get hot. We know that the ceiling for this guy is huge, and we probably need to lift it. But yeah, what's your take on this one here, Byron?
Same. I think anyone on this slate can win against anyone on this slate. We know that, right? It's match play golf. It's one day, one round. I think Tony Finau beats Taylor Pendrith much more often than not in any given day. And, minus 155 seems very fair to me. Love that number. I think if Pendrith doesn't bring his A game, he's toast today.
100%. I mean, Pendrith is needing to, obviously he's got the distance of tee. He's going to need to find a lot of fairways. He's going to need to obviously find a lot of greens, and he's going to need to make a lot of putts. I mean, and he can do all of those things, but he's going to need a hell of a lot to go his way if he's going to overcome that deficit in class. So I'm with you on that one too. Match 7, again, this just seems like a lock. I don't even know if we need to talk about it, other than the fact that, let's just again acknowledge how dreadful a putter Corey Connors is at the moment. And man, it was bad. It was just painful to watch yesterday, as it was the day before.
Yeah.
It was great for me because, again, I was just fading the Corey Connors putter in my matchups and just taking that money straight to the bank. And I say we do the same again tomorrow or today.
Yeah. Xander, smash play. Love him here. It's also like Cantley. That's why I guess they're such good partners, is because their floor is so high. All aspects of their game is so good. They can just keep themselves in a hole, relying on chipping, putting, driving, whatever, iron play. Corey, short game, atrocious. I don't know how that's going to work for him today. I like Xander a lot every day of the week.
It's not even close to good, is it? Yeah. So I mean, I took X at minus 160, and I'm very happy to do that, and he'll feature at the end of my best bet as well. Cool. Young, Sungjae Im. Tight one for me. I prefer Sungjae Im again. Being in that pairing with Munoz, they've racked up 18 birdies across 34 holes. They are scoring just incredibly well. He's going to take some, positive vibes off the back of what Tom Kim did as well, in terms of his countrymen just performing incredibly well. Sungjae Im for me is a contender to be winning majors soon. He is that good, and I think he's kind of going under the radar a little bit, if that's possible, in terms of just how well he's been playing at the moment. So I'm happy to lean that way.
Yeah, for me, there's really nothing going on in this matchup. I never bet it. It's going to be a tight one. I do think that Sungjae is playing a bit more consistently. Cam Young's putter has been really bad this week. So whether or not that bounces back is yet to be determined. So we'll see what cooks there. But I'm just kind of skipping out on this matchup. Might go Sungjae over someone in DFS if I want to, but I don't think I'm even going to go there. It's too close of a matchup for me.
That's fair. I mean, look, for me, I just like the number I was getting on him. For me, I know that over in the States, actually, in a lot of books, he's a favorite. I'm getting him at plus 100, so I'm getting 2-1 on my money. So, I mean, I was happy with that. I realized that it's absolutely a risk. I think Cam Young on his day could absolutely beat Sungjae, and I don't doubt that whatsoever. I just like the number that I'm getting on him partly as well.
Yeah.
Match 9, KH Lee, Billy Ho. Where are we going with this, Byron? What's your thoughts?
If you got to place a bet, I'd go KH Lee because it's the odds are better for him. But as you can tell, these are both of the less superior golfers in this field. It's going to be a really bad match. I don't think we're going to see too many birdies between the two of the guys. I think Billy Ho won 0 matches for his squad yesterday, which is telling you everything. I mean, they were going on about how good of a bunker player he is. Well, you know why he's in the bunkers? Because he's a bad iron player. I don't care how good of a bunker player you are. You're hitting your ball in the bunkers. Hit on the green, dude. That's where you make the birdie putts. So if I were to lean somewhere, I'd go KH, just from that upside aspect. I don't know. Yeah. Billy's just trying too hard on this golf course. It's not a golf course set up for him. But I'm not involved in this at all.
Okay. I really like the number that I'm getting on KH Lee. I'm getting plus 130. So I'm really quite happy to take that on him. I think he's actually played the better of the two. For me, I had him as a marginal favourite over Billy Ho. Billy Ho was picking up a lot of work from Burns in terms of the way they were performing. So I think that his number gets basically deflated a little bit from having played with Burns and then having played actually reasonably well. But Burns was carrying that team on his shoulders. And so he was carrying them through. A lot of that work wasn't being done by Billy Ho. And so I'm happy to take KH Lee, who can absolutely get hot and take him at like a decent, like inflated figure at plus 130. So I'll go and lean that way for me.
Yep. Sign me
up. Man, I am so excited to watch this game. Man, I am excited to watch Homer play Tom Kim because Homer's 3-0. He's been playing absolutely incredible. We all saw what Tom Kim did yesterday. Amazing putter, amazing irons. Just some of the most like electric moments of yesterday came from that match with Tom Kim and Siwoo. Man, this kid's a star, and man, he's just awesome. He's so fun to watch. So, I'm amped. I'm psyched. What's your take here?
So I did a $1.11 match parlay last night to win $2,000. Wow. This match was not in it. I couldn't find myself clicking this button on this match because
it's gonna be tough.
I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. Two of the guys that are absolutely playing out of their mind right now, both just should have. Tom went up against, his partner hasn't helped him throughout the week. Now he gets to shine as a bright big star on his own against one of the budding superstars of the US team as well. So I'm just going to sit back and watch the beauty of this matchup. I'm not going anywhere near it, so sign me up for a spectatorship. Yeah, I'm betting on myself.
It's exciting for me. If I was going to lean this way, I'm going with Max Homer. I think a lot of the money is going to flow to Tom Kim just because of what he did yesterday, right? Like, and that does tend to happen. Max Homer's just been absolutely fantastic, and he's been a major contributor in his victory. So I was happy to take the number on him. It doesn't feel great fading Tom Kim, but I've done similar to you as I've left him out of like my main like parlays and things like that, just because it seems like a pretty volatile bet. We're gonna have to wrap these last two up pretty quickly and get into our best bets. So Pariah Morikawa, this was one of the hardest for me to actually decide. I ended up going with Kawa, but I just don't love the number that I'm getting on him. So I mean, I got minus 160, which to be honest, I think this could actually be a little bit closer. I don't have a lot of faith in Mito to close out the victory and really get his foot on the throat. In saying that, the number on Murray is pretty short for me.
Yeah. I think I actually bet Colin in this matchup. I think, if you look at a long sample size, Colin's the superior player by far, in my opinion. We'll see what the short game gets up to. Typically, when he needs to rely on his short game in big moments, he can. Like in majors, his short game is typically much better. This could be assumed as a major. So I'm on Colin.
Yeah, me too. Final one. Look, we both talked about this, and we'll just wrap this up after this. So I've got CBS, as do you, of course. But I actually have CBS as a favorite in this matchup. So for me to get plus money on him as a dog was awesome. I love the way he's actually been playing the time he has got to play. And yeah, I mean, as you said yourself, I think he should be the favorite in this based on our modeling, right?
Yeah, Kevin Kisner has got no business being in this field. Once again, we'll say that. And I think Bezzy's got a bit more distance on him. I think he's got better iron play. And I think their short games are about matched up. Maybe Bezzy's a better chipper too. So sign me up for Bezzy. I think he hasn't played much at all, so he needs to go prove why he's actually on the squad today. And he's going to whip Kisner's out.
Kisner has not played well either.
No.
So final thing, I'll just wrap up my parlays. So I had Sam Burns into Bezadenhout. So I was getting plus 284 for that. I've got Sungjae Im into KH Lee into Max Homer. I was getting plus 778 for that. But my best bet was Xander Schauffele into Tony Finau, plus 162. I've lumped 4 points on that because both of those feel like safe matchups. Byron, best bet, and we'll close. But thank you once again for your contribution.
You bet, buddy. I got the hair of the dog on the head, and Sam Burns, baby. I love him today. I think he's playing great golf. Hideki, not so much. Let's ride Sam Burns. Nice number 2.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Burns into CBs for me. That was one of my faves. So Byron, thanks for your time. Great to have your contributions once again. Win Daily, catch us on Twitter. Chat to you soon. Enjoy the day. Best of luck. Sports.